Now, we've been having a spot of weather just lately, and this morning the Met Office issued a severe weather warning. Apparently down south they had a slight ground frost and someone somewhere had slipped, so the advice given out to the general public was to stay indoors, turn your heating up, keep warm, and don't venture outside unless it's a matter of life or death. Now, here further up north, obviously the weather is considerably more severe, and we were also issued with a severe weather warning, which basically consisted of get yourself off to work and you might want to put a big coat on because it's cold outside. Now, generally speaking, I don't consider it safe to ride unless the temperatures are above 4 degrees centigrade. Anywhere below that and there is a significant chance of there being ice on the roads, and it's just not safe to ride in my opinion. But anywhere from 4 degrees up, I consider it fair game. I just stick a pair of long johns on underneath my jeans, thermal vest under my t-shirt, leather jacket on, and off we go. Of course, the only real difference being that you need a better pair of gloves for winter use. Compared to the rest of your body, you don't get a huge amount of blood flow through your hands, which means when they're perched on the end of your handlebars, unless of course you've got heated grips, the wind chill factor soon sucks every ounce of heat out of your hands, and before you know where you are, your hands are cold, numb, painful, and you start to find it difficult to operate the controls on your bike, and that's when it becomes dangerous. Now, when I'm on the T120, I've got heated grips, so usually I can get away with a pair of summer gloves, providing that the journey's not too long. The only problem with short gloves is that you normally, to wear them comfortably, you have to tuck them underneath the cuff of your jacket, and then the cuff and the sleeve of your jacket acts like a sort of air ram where it directs icy air sort of up the sleeve and it circulates around your jacket. So although your hands might be okay, your body tends to get very cold very quickly. So ideally what you need, although some people might not consider them very fashionable, is a pair of good old-fashioned motorcycle gauntlets. Something that fits over your cuff and stops that cold air being directed up your sleeve and around the inside of your jacket. Now, GOLDTOP England make these wind stoppers. They're a classic 1960s café racer winter gauntlet. And for a little extra cost, they also do a merino wool line version. Now, it has to be said, these are a traditional motorcycling glove. There are no space age materials and there's no built-in armour. These are a glove for real men. But they are absolutely packed with design detailing and features aimed at keeping you as warm and secure as possible on those long winter rides. They extend well past your wrist and halfway up your forearm, and they're designed to fit over the sleeve of your bike jacket. The leather's substantially thicker than you'd see on GOLDTOP's summer gloves, and it features two press-stud fastening straps, one at the wrist and one further up close to the hem. Both of these have two positions to allow for a precise fitting to the shape of your arm, and this is to ensure that there's minimal heat loss from your body. There's a zipped gusset on the back of each glove. This is to make it easier to pull the glove on over a bulky jacket. And it features a chain that's about an inch and a half long to make it easy to operate the zip while you're still wearing the gloves. These are the kind of design features that GOLDTOP is famous for, and you just don't see on modern gloves these days. Despite the leather being thick, it is still soft and supple, and of course, as you would expect with GOLDTOP England's gloves, they're lined with that famous signature crimson fleece lining. The extra bulk of these gloves is noticeable, but it's exactly what you would expect from a winter glove, and to be quite honest, it is something that you welcome when you're riding in cold weather. The quality of the workmanship is, as I have come to expect from GOLDTOP, exemplary. And despite all the extra work that has gone into these gloves, the stitching everywhere is flawless. And these are exactly the kind of gloves that I need for riding the T100 project bike during this winter. Now, on Sunday, a friend of mine invited me for a run out to one of the local bike cafes, about an 80 or 90 mile round trip. So this gave me the perfect chance to give these gloves a bit of a try out. Now, the temperature on the way there ranged from about 4.5 degrees to 5.5 degrees, with a high of about 6.5 degrees on the way home. Now, with the traffic etc, it was about an hour each way, and I did actually find at the 4.5 to 5 degree mark these gloves were lasting about an hour before I started to find that my hands were uncomfortable. which believe me is about the best you're ever going to get out of a pair of unheated winter gloves. Now on the way back in the afternoon, the temperatures were in the range of 5.5 to 6.5 degrees, travelling at speeds of up to 70 miles an hour. Now, although my fingers did start to feel a little bit chilly, I was still very comfortable throughout the journey back. So that puts these gloves performance-wise on par with a lot of the more modern materials, Thinsulate and thermal lined gloves. So as far as I'm concerned, they're up there with the best. Now these gloves are not waterproof, although putting some of Goldtop's inexpensive duck wax on them will give them a degree of water repellency. Now if you ride a modern classic or even a classic motorbike and you like to dress the part, these café racer style winter gloves definitely fit the bill, not just in looks but in performance as well. So there's no need to be riding around in a pair of gloves that look like you bought them from a Power Rangers convention. These are definitely a pair of gloves that you should be putting on your Christmas list for riding around this winter and in the spring, and I'll leave a link in the video description. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this video and you found it useful. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back next Wednesday with the second instalment of the Payday Project series, where I'll be doing an oil and filter change on the T100 and adding the first of the Motone sparkly bits. So until then, be careful, the roads are treacherous at the moment, ride safely. And don't forget to put your big coat on.